back here to XM Live Education in the advanced room, and this is the seasonal trading session. We are right in a season actually. It is the Christmas season, year-end season, and I'm wishing you a wonderful start here right after the Christmas holidays, let me say, and yeah, trying to still find some interesting opportunities in the markets here now in the remaining few days of the year 2023. And maybe there is also like a seasonal trade happening. Maybe we can place them here today together with our viewers on YouTube. A special hello and greetings to our YouTube viewers this morning. We are here as well live on YouTube channel. But before we are getting at the end of our sneak peek in YouTube, let me invite you already now, if you want to follow the whole session afterwards, after we are leaving the YouTube, already bookmark xmglobal.com or xm.com, the website, and there you find the XM Live section, and there you can follow us whole day long from 8 morning until, or from morning till evening. Many sessions, a lot of experts, and here we are now in the seasonal session. So very wonderful good morning to you guys, and of course as well to our traders at XM, at our XM home actually. Hope you had wonderful Christmas days, everyone. And let's get started. So after holiday, it's always a little bit, like tricky to get started. We are getting maybe not losing track completely. It was only a few days, but anyway, um, we are getting out of the rhythm. We need to, tune ourselves back into what's going on. And let me quickly bring up here an idea how you can get very fast up to speed. And this is actually on the XM website. If you're going to the markets overview section, and here you see already the latest headline immediately popping up to your mind. So you can already here see a very good overview about what's currently going on, what kind of news are out there. Is there something that we have to take special care of or something like that? So then um, we see that, for example, here a political veteran of Germany died, and so on. But if it really hitting the markets or not, this is another question, and this is what you get a great help here as well with the tool that you find, for example, to the news. And this is something when you go really directly to the news and you say, okay, I would like to see all the Forex news right now. And then you can see here, for example, which kind of currency pairs might be affected. Or you go even a step deeper and say, hey, I'm really interested in euro, US dollar, for example. Selecting here the euro US dollar, then you get on a snapshot here, getting to the news section, and you find actually everything that could be, um, interesting for the asset. And you get even sometimes another idea. Here you see, for example, London stock rise on year end, rate cut optimism, minor said, and so on and so on. And this is actually something that you would be really absolutely fantastic. So very wonderful. Good morning, Ravi Gupta and Mr. Nan in YouTube. Hey guys, hope you're doing all fine and you're finding as well the right trading ideas. So this is actually how you are able um, to get again to get into running. And what we want to look right now into is, like, for example, if we are just picking maybe the major currencies or the major market actually, which is so much of interest of so many traders, gold, and looking how gold and, for example, euro and US dollar, or maybe as well the FTSE UK 100, how they are performing seasonally, usually at the end of the year. And maybe we are finding some trading opportunities here together. And this is what we're going to do. So let's get started maybe with the euro and US dollar. So I'm getting here into our platform and looking at the euro US dollar. And you see as well here in the euro US dollar that when we're starting from a weekly chart perspective, that we are at the moment on the rise of the euro. So that means, in contrary, dollar gets a little bit weaker, euro is rising, and everything is of course related as well to the interest rate decisions or interest rate situations in the different kind of countries, in a different kind of um, yeah, let me say currency areas, because euro is not only a country, it's not a country itself, it's like a combination of many euro countries together as a community currency. And of course, we would like to see and understand how this is going. So good morning, Maximo. Good morning, Andy, as well here on the XM platform. Um, Looking good, man. Whatever is the diet or workout, keep it going. Thanks a lot, Maximo. What a compliment this morning. So I see that you are often here and follow it. Yeah, it's actually good going, honestly speaking. Yeah, so I keep going. Of course, when we are starting, this is the same as in trading. If you find a good recipe, you just keep going, right? So and until you find the right recipe, you are still trying and improving. So and here the recipe this morning is actually seasonality. And when we're looking seasonality, so I will show you something. Euro US dollar. I said we see it rising, okay? And then of course many traders are asking themselves always questions, okay, where is it coming from? How is it happening? What's the reason for that? And so on. How can I identify it? Honestly speaking, there's many opportunities, many ways how you could get into something like this and get it going, right? Um, and one thing for me is actually next to the technical analysis, I'm very often looking into the seasonality as well. Seasonality sentiment, this is my area where I'm feeling most at home. And this is helping a lot because even in the currency area, in currencies, I have to admit it's kind of complicated with the seasonalities, because it's not like with the grains or with the agricultural products that you see, okay, there's a good weather, bad weather situation, or there's the harvesting season, or there's the planting season, and so on. It's a little bit more complicated because the whole world, of course, is more complex, and all the political influences that we're having, financial politics, geopolitical things, and so on. This, of course, everything is influencing a currency, GDP growth, like how is the economical situation in a different kind of um, economic areas, actually. So, but what I really think, what is absolutely great to look at is if we see seasonal patterns, right? And you see as well the complication here, if we are following in the back of the chart, you see here a dashed line right now. The dashed line is indicating the seasonal behavior of the euro dollar in the specific time we are looking at. And for me, actually, what is always most interesting is, honestly speaking, if you look at the turning points, yeah. So I'm circling now a few of them, yeah. So just, of course, there's better and not so good ones, but you see as well that very often we have a very interesting combination of correlation, honestly speaking. And then comes the technical part of it. Very often, it's also the weekly chart here, we are seeing a trend. And the trend is here displayed. Honest, you can see it also with the price only, but as a visual help, I do have here a trend indication. It's something like a super trend indicator, which you could load in the MetaTrader platform as well. And then what I'm interested in is looking, okay, how the trend is going. So we have here a downtrend, right? This is what we can recognize. You could use as well a moving average for this. And then for me, it's very interesting to observe seasonal selling points. I mark this now in a red circle so that we are consistent with the trend. And then you're looking, for example, from a timing perspective. And that's the interesting part. You're looking now into this kind of spots. When seasonally we are having opportunities, to sell the euro US dollar actually best, right? So then this is what I'm looking at. And this is then a combination that what we are seeing here. And if we are switching to a, let me say, uptrend situation like here, then I'm looking into buying points from a seasonality perspective. So then I'm not so much interested in the selling. I'm more interested now into the buying situation. And you see there's better ones, there's perfect ones, and there's worse ones. But what we can see here is again a trend shift. Then we are focusing again on the selling situation, and now we're starting again on to the buying situation, right? This is something what we are doing when we are looking on a higher picture about it. So at this very moment, what we are seeing is when we are monitoring here the seasonality that we have been seeing here on the euro US dollar, that potentially if we are getting into the path of seasonality and we are staying with the trend, then right now we are settling up into an uptrending situation. It might be that in the next couple of weeks, we are seeing a retracement in the euro US dollar according seasonality, because we are actually exactly this week entering, let me check it if it's exactly the selling point right now. We have on the 1st of January, so with the beginning of the new year, we are getting here a kind of selling point, seasonal wise or seasonal speaking, which could lead us that the euro US dollar is first of all taking a little break. And what we are focusing on the euro then, at the end of the day, if we want to go for intraday trades, we could use this information, or if we go for a smaller time frame, and let me say the 4-hour chart, for example, and saying, okay, from the 1st of January, we are focusing on the 4-hour chart maybe to go and waiting for something like this to happen. And this is what we are able to use actually the higher time frame analysis as well on. So we are taking ourselves information from the weekly and then driving it down to a trading time frame that give us best opportunities. We are knowing, okay, we are weekly on an uptrend right now. We just switched to an uptrend. Seasonality still goes a little bit higher. Then we expect on the very first, with the switch to the new year, we are expecting a seasonal coming to an end, and then what we could do is on a smaller time frame, because we see on the weekly that we had quite a big rally already of several weeks. So we could expect maybe a 1, 2, 3 week retracement if it happens. And this retracement on a weekly, we could maybe trade on a 4-hour chart to the short side. The only thing that we need to have in this moment is a structural change to happen. When I'm talking about a structural change to happen, then I'm looking for a trend situation, a trend change situation. Let me take this very quickly here with me to complete it. And I need to as well keep an eye on here on my schedule. Okay, here is the new picture. So if we are talking about trend change, you see here that the market is moving, and give it a better color here so that we can better see that. You see here that we are in this kind of uptrend situation. And if you are observing it from this here, because such a situation we are looking for, right? This is something that we are looking for in the beginning of January in euro US dollar. And this is how you can make trading plannable, because before this happened, we had a similar situation here, right? We went to the upside, and look at what happened here right now. We went into such a situation that when the market down, and I call this like a structural change, when we are kicking out the previous higher lows. And now it depends what kind of structure we are choosing. We can use the bigger structure that I drawn here, or we can use as well a smaller structure, which is this one here. And you see that here in this moment, when we are getting out and kicking out this structure, then we are getting or leaving the uptrend, waiting for a retracement and trying to get into this trade from the retracement perspective. And this is then the kind of profit that we can cut ourselves out of the market. And by following just the trend to the downside, we can here use, for example, a parabolic SAR indication to trail our stop loss and getting then here out of the market. So this would be here our kind of exit, entry, and to make it very transparent, before we are as well slowly potentially moving over to our platform, this would be our profit that we would have cut here out of the market. So one thing is important. Never try to get from the top, or you can try it, but you will probably not succeed very often to get the very top and the very bottom. The thing is, in a planned and consistent way to cut yourself out as much as you can from a setup that is working very nicely. Yeah. So, and you see here as well, here is an order in right now. Here we are stopping it right now. So, and if this trend is continuing to the upside, we don't mind if the seasonality starts in January to the short side. We just follow the trend to the upside as long as we somehow can.